interview, LeBron James was asked for his thoughts on the GOAT debate, and he shared the answer that will surely get people talking. He said, quote, "I'm not taking nobody over me. There's no question. But I think Mike Jordan would say the same thing. Rest his soul. Kobe Bryant would say the same thing. Magic Johnson will say the same thing. Larry Bird will say the same thing. Shaq could say the same thing," James said. "The late, great Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I don't think none of us are going to take somebody else. If there's a general manager and he's eyeballing all of us on a baseline with the number one pick, it's going to be hard not to take me, champ." So now we've heard what LeBron has to say. I don't know that this is necessarily surprising, but Stephen, what do you make of LeBron's comments?
Well, the problem is none of those guys are ever saying that.
That's true.
That's the problem.
That's what I was going to say.
That's the problem. We don't hear Shaq calling himself the GOAT. And Shaq does a lot of podcasting. He's on television. He's always talking about other people. Matter of fact, I believe he has Steph Curry as his GOAT right now. So he's never talking about himself. See, when we get to this point, and this is the problem that I have with Braun, is that instead of letting other people glorify you or give you your flowers, or a guy like me come on television that been through the trenches with you since childhood, let me come on and tell the world why you're the GOAT. You sit back and just accept the flowers. We don't never hear Jordan say it. And here we are again. And I know we're going to pick it up, but he knows we're going to pick up the soundbite. Mm-hmm. It's just here.
He wants us to.
We're in the NBA Finals. NBA Finals.
And we're being distracted because of this, right?
Yeah, but does he have something to do with the timing of the release of the article? I mean, it's possible. I don't know the answer.
But he got something to do with the timing of the damn.
There have been plenty of times. I remember I've gotten myself in heat on numerous occasions because people treat something that I said like I said it yesterday, and I said it 6 months ago, but the damn thing was held until 6 months later. I mean, it happens with magazine articles and stuff like that is what I'm saying, which is very frustrating because, damn it, had it been 6 months later, I might have said something a little bit different than I said 6 months ago, depending on, you know, what the question was and what have you. But to speak directly about LeBron, Big Perk is absolutely right in this regard. He's talking about they would say the same thing. No, they wouldn't. Michael Jordan would never tell you he's the GOAT. I know Michael Jordan. I speak to him often. I'm telling you, he has never, ever, ever once called himself the greatest. Ever. Mm-hmm. It has never happened. Kobe Bryant didn't call himself the greatest. Kareem didn't call himself the greatest. Magic didn't call himself the greatest. Bird didn't call himself the greatest. No, that's not true. That's not true. He could say they might have thought it, but they never articulated it to a reporter for print purposes to be disseminated to the masses. It is LeBron James, which brings us to LeBron James. Why would he do that? Because the man is addicted to trying to control the narrative. These are the reasons problems exist. And so many people who support him, they haven't seen the forest from the trees. They get caught up in that moment. He's saying something that moment. You know why you can't get caught up in the moment with LeBron James? Because LeBron James ain't caught up in the moment. Everything he does is calculating. He knows exactly what he's doing. He plots and he plans, hoping to have a specific impact. I would know personally. I know what he does, okay? And I'm not even knocking it because he is on the Mount Rushmore of basketball. He's one of the greatest basketball players to have ever lived. I have said repeatedly, I have him number 2 all time. But Rich Paul put it best. Yo, Rich, you acting like that's a damn insult to call him number 2 all time. It is an insult. That's how they feel. That's how they feel. And they feel that way in large part. They think for themselves, but they feel that way in large part because they know that's how he feels. He is still around because when all is said and done, he wants to eclipse every record because he knows down the line from an historical perspective, we ain't going to remember it took him 23, 24, 25 years to do what Jordan did in 13 or what Kareem did in 19 or 20 or something like that. All we're going to look at is the numbers. All-time leading scorer, this, that. We're going to look at all of those different things, and we're going to say statistically, he's the best. That is why he is still around, because he wants that narrative to be dictated. As I told you before, he's on the Mount Rushmore. He's one of the top 2 in the history in my game. But that's as far as it's getting. As long as I'm breathing and I'm on the airwaves, it will never be what he wants it to be. Period.
Here's what LeBron should do. And anybody who thinks he's better than Jordan, go take out the tape of every game in the Dallas series when Nowitzki beat him. When he averaged 17 a game, couldn't score in the fourth quarter, and was completely outplayed with a better team, Wade and Bosh. Find me a series where that happened to Jordan. Can't. Find me a series that happened to Kareem. Can't. Find me a series that happened to Bird. Can't. You might be able to give me Game 7 Lakers in '84 with Magic. They probably should have won that series against Bird, but you really can't with him either. With LeBron, you can. And that is why LeBron is not.
I have one closing comment. I want to break news here by telling you there are 2 categories in which LeBron James is the absolute GOAT.
Longevity.
Longevity. Nobody has been as great for as long as LeBron James has been great
We agree.
for this period of time. The GOAT of longevity, and category number 2, the GOAT of talking about who's the GOAT. He's the GOAT of that conversation.
How about the GOAT of pressure? He's the GOAT.
That's not true.
Hold on.
That's not true. Not over Jordan.
Hold on.
That's not true.
Hold on. I let you 2 old heads talk. I wasn't trying to go here with y'all. But when it comes to being under pressure, there's no athlete in the history of sports that was under the amount of pressure like a LeBron James, and he overachieved.
From jump.
From jump.
Oh, got you. When he started his career. I got that
From
part.
jump.
I got that
right
part.
There.
I got
there.
that.
Right there, silence. We can go to break.
No, we can't.
We go to break.
No, we
Yeah,
can't.
Yeah,
Right. No. This first take, baby. No, we ain't going to break. Hold on. You can't say that when you're the person who put yourself in that position. Ain't nobody told him to come into the NBA wearing number 23. Ain't nobody tell him to come into the NBA putting the claim that you going to be that dude. And oh, by the way, with Jordan, you can't sit up there. Yeah, in pressure moments he showed up, but the pressure that was on his shoulders was something that he continuously alleviated. How did he alleviate it? Because there were no Game 7s in championship series when Jordan was going up against you in the finals. Because he closed you out before Game 7. He was undefeated and unblemished. The pressure that was placed on him was not just because of his verbiage, not just because of his body language, not just because of LeBron sitting up there wearing number 23 and all of that other stuff, but there were times when the brother came up short. So when you talk about pressure, it's because we anticipated what's he going to do, because we didn't know whether he was going to win or lose. Whereas with Jordan, you expected wins, and he delivered wins. That's what he did. It's just that simple. So you can look at it any old way you want to. More game-winning shots, more 82-game seasons, more all-defensive teams, more scoring titles, more a lot. No, he ain't getting that. You put the pressure on yourself. We didn't put it on you. You put it on you.
Bring me on Sirius XM. We're gonna finish.
You can finish that. Ain't nobody running.
I'm gonna be.
Ain't nobody running.
I'm gonna be respectful.
Okay.
That's nice of you.
That is nice of you. That is nice.
Coming up next.